Guess what? If you're able to check in on yourself regarding your energy, what type of energy are you putting out into this world? Is it positive energy? Is it negative energy? Is it upward spiraled energy, or is it downward spiraled energy? Because the truth is, we're all putting out energy all the time. And a lot of people that I talk to, they feel like they don't got the energy to do things that they know would probably improve their life. But they somehow have the energy to do other things that don't improve their life. And when it comes to that, it really is a mental game. The mind is so powerful. You either have that positive mental attitude, or you're kind of a naysayer. We used to call it a neg bag, right? A negative bag of shit. Always pessimistic, always doubtful, always allowing for the negativity to be more dominant in your thoughts, in your actions, and the things you're doing and saying and feeling. And it takes intention to break free from that pattern. And I've done some reflecting today to really just put it in a perspective for how am I showing up energetically in situations. Right? How do I show up for myself at work? How do I show up for myself in relationships? How do I show up for myself? And you hear what I'm saying, right? How are you showing up for yourself? Because see, how you show up for yourself is how you show up for others. Is that sinking in? How you are showing up for yourself is how you're showing up for others. If you're somebody that's not showing up for you, then how you're showing up for people is it's a little manipulative. It's disingenuous. It's not legit. It's not authentic. And I know this because throughout my life, I've had people-pleasing issues. And that's rooted in abandonment wounds. Some would call it trauma. Having very traumatic events happen that create wounds emotionally to where my value of who I am isn't as important of how someone else thinks about me. And if someone else is falling in love or head over heels about me, right? If they ever shift because of how I'm acting or thinking or behaving or speaking, and that causes a shift for them to maybe pull back some of that energy, that attention, that affection, that closeness, guess what? Self-sabotage kicks in, self-abandonment, which is like, low self-worth. And the thing that I've been really zeroed in on for probably the past year, but you could say that I've been taking major steps, is really about this thing called self-love in the past several months. Really, really understanding what that means to love yourself. For some people, you have a hard time just looking in the mirror saying, I love you so much, and like give yourself a high five, give yourself a kiss on the hand or on the shoulder. That's kind of weird, right? But think about it. If there's somebody out there that you do love, do you tell them that you love them? How do you show them or express your love to them? Do you understand these love languages? Right? Because those love languages, if you understand what your love language is, then you're already ahead of the curve, because guess what? You could start doing things for you that are expressed through your love language. So for me, physical touch, that's number one. If I'm not in a relationship where I have someone else that, and it doesn't have to just be sex, but it's just, the small touch, holding hands, caressing, just being held, like all of that fills my cup with physical touch. But if I'm not in a relationship with somebody, then I've come up with other ways to be able to keep my cup full at a self-love place. Well, how do you think I do that? Physical touch. I go get massages, and not ones with happy endings. I get real deep tissue therapeutic massages, and it fills my cup. Fuck. And it's so good for me. It builds me up. Right? I also love going to the hot springs nearby, Ojo Caliente. They have these big fountains, hot water fountains coming out of some of these hot springs. And you can get under that fountain, and it's like the most incredible massage as well. And sometimes I just gotta give myself a hug. Right? Sometimes I just gotta give myself a hug. Do some self-soothing. And again, the self-love, it's the master key. The more that you genuinely love yourself, and by loving yourself, it's not even by it's not an activity, right? Although activities can demonstrate how much you care about yourself, how much you love yourself, right? The activities that you do in terms of what you're thinking can demonstrate how much you love yourself. The activities you do in terms of how athletic you are, how fit you are, how healthy you are, can also be a measuring stick for how much you love yourself. And obviously there's a lot of other ways, because this is where it always gets a little sensitive. I know that there's been plenty of times in my life that I was having a good time, right? Insert alcohol, insert THC, and yet I was having a great time. However, if I look back, being 13 years sober, I'm like, I wasn't loving myself. And I know why. I know why alcohol was such a potent drug in my life. Because it literally checked me out from my pain. Well, what type of pain? The emotional pain. The wounds. Trauma, right? Trauma is called wounding. It means wounding. And we have this internal wounding inside of us that just doesn't go away with time. And so in order for you to start loving yourself, there's a lot of activities that you could either stop doing as a form of self-love, and then replacing those with activities that you could start doing that would also demonstrate an ability of self-love, which is a positive, energetic activity or a negative, energetic activity. When I was sitting there, happy hour to after hour, every day of the week, right? And worse on Saturdays and Sundays, all day, all night, drinking. That was a negative activity. Again, downward spiral, right? You're either going up or you're going down. Which is it? What are you doing? Where's your energy? Going down or going up? I'm here to try and encourage you to start going up. But the choice really is yours. I can't make the choice for you because I can't make the changes for you. You have to be resonating with this message enough that it aligns with where you're at, saying, yeah, this is exactly where I'm at. I'm at that point where I'm ready to start making those changes, letting go of some of the bad habits and getting into some good, positive, life transformational habits. And it all starts with self-love. And what I've realized most recently, especially through the breath work, is that self-love, it's not the things you do. It's not the things you do. To love yourself is not doing things. At the essence of it, what so many of us don't realize, maybe you're one of those people that doesn't realize this, you in and of yourself are an expression of love. You, me, every single person is an expression of love. That means that in your heart of hearts, in your soul, in your spirit, you are love. You're love. You are love. And that doesn't mean you're always lovey-dovey. No. No. That's that shadow side, right? That ego. And a lot of that's rooted in your traumas that haven't been dealt with, cleared, so that you can be a little kinder, gentler, nicer to yourself. And ultimately, as you improve your relationship with yourself, you'll also improve your relationship with others. Because I've learned the hard way. Actually, I take that back. I've learned the hardest ways. And you're welcome to be my guest in learning the hardest lessons of life in order for you to finally get activated to start doing the transformational work that leads towards your what? Spiritual awakening. That truly aligns you to be the best version of yourself, to be it. You already have it all inside of you right now, but there has to be some polarity shifts, some focus shifts, some energetic shifts, and through those internal shifts, starting in your mind, then in your heart, then in your soul, right? You start to elevate yourself. You start making some changes that ultimately allow for this best version of you to emerge, right? To emerge. And the reason why I say it has the opportunity to emerge is because it's already within you. It needs to be seen. It needs to be expressed. But yet, that emotional healing work is something that cannot be sidestepped if, right? If. It's conditional. It's not a have to. It's you get the choice. If you want to start making the changes. If you want to start down a path of transformation that's really a healing journey that ultimately is a spiritual awakening. What are you awakening from? The suffering, the tiny disposable story of this life and all the pain and all the sadness and all the things that didn't go your way, and expanding your vision, expanding your understanding, which will happen to you, right? It will happen. It happened to me. It's happened to many people I've talked with. It'll happen to you, right? You and the Great Spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever you align with, when you truly have a spiritual awakening, not a religious experience, right? But a true spiritual awakening, you will feel complete. You will feel whole. You will feel connected with all that is. All that is. You will feel connected to it all. No doubt about it. And in that, you'll understand so much more about your existence, that it's not temporary. It's not just this one life that you feel maybe has slipped away from you, that there's so much more to it. And I truly do believe that when you start to tap into doing the emotional work, right, you're going to start tapping into the gifts inside of you, which the gifts inside of you are going to allow you to express yourself in a creative way, or many creative ways that you've never really even given a shot, or maybe it's been since you were a kid, and you feel like that's sort of a dream and sort of a activity or a hobby that you've outgrown. I talk to people all the time that are like, man, nah, about like being more creative, right? Being more artistic, right? I made this little chain here. That's cool. I felt cool about that. I'm going to start making some bracelets. Get ready for those. Results kill excuses. Positive energy, negative energy, deflecting positive energy, building bracelets, right? And that's just fun. It's creative. I love rocks. I love stones, minerals. And so I just feel like doing that, right? I love designing logos. That's where I got this from. What's your talent? What's your creativity? What's that hidden gift you have inside of you that you're not expressing? I can almost guarantee you, if you were feeling really down, feeling super negative, that if you were to give yourself a little bit of permission to think back to when you were a kid, what were the creative things you liked to do? Did you like to draw? Did you like to sing? Did you like to play an instrument? Did you like to go skateboarding, riding a bike, right? What did you like to do? Arts and crafts. And if you ask yourself, have you been doing that lately? Most people, not all, most, their answer is going to be no. I don't got time for that. Well, there's your excuses. You're right. Or you could make the time. Are you ready for it? You could create the time. Because you're a creator. In your heart of hearts, there's the message. You're a creator. You have the most incredible creative gifts inside of you. It doesn't have to be like anybody else's. But again, what it takes to really, really, really go all in on your creative expressions. It takes you believing in yourself. And if you're still beating yourself up from all the mistakes and all the shit that's happened in your life, you're going to hold yourself back. Last week, I was at a healing workshop, and we had like a talent show. It was a talent show. And they started passing around a clipboard, and I'm like, shit, man, I don't know what I'm going to put down. And I just put, my talent was to speak the truth. I had nothing planned. I didn't know what, I wasn't going to dance. I wasn't going to really sing a song. And there was some great people that did those things. But that's not really on my thing. And yet I came up with writing a poem. I wrote a poem. And it was a very heartfelt poem. It was a poem about my birth. I've always said that I remember being born. And it was a really deep poem. I got a lot of feedback from that. Not only just because of how it was written, I put a lot into it, but it was also how I performed it, because it was emotional, it was impactful. Maybe I'll share it here soon. The poem. It was a powerful piece, but I just stepped out there. But yet, if I didn't have the confidence, the clarity, right, having gone and just all in on doing this work, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just said, nah, it was voluntary. But I said, no, I'm open. I'm willing to try all these new things. Remember, I keep talking about that. Do you guys hear me when I tell you to try new things? Right? I've never performed a poem. Not that I remember. Maybe like 4th grade or something, like a poem this long. The one I did was pretty good. And yet it takes a belief in self. It takes loving myself enough to where I don't have to care about what other people think. And then the more that you don't care about what other people think, guess what? They actually care about you. They're like, versus when you do care about what other people think, then you have this attachment to everything and you're holding yourself back. But when you let yourself go and you let yourself be free and you let yourself fly and you let yourself express the most beautiful things inside of you, the most true and authentic things inside of you, right? It's so attractive. It's the most attractive thing that you could do. It makes you sexy, right? If you don't feel sexy, if you don't feel attractive, I'm trying to show you the way. It's to truly believe yourself. Start taking care of yourself, to realize that you are love, right? Love isn't something that you have to become. You are love. You just have gone through some things that have caused you to hold on to some emotional wounds. It's called trauma, right? You're holding on to something from your past. And some of you, the sad thing is some of you are holding on to this stuff subconsciously. What's the difference? Conscientiously is you know that someone's hurt you and you say, and you shut down. You make a decision, I'm gonna shut down. Subconscious is like something happened to you maybe before you were even talking. You were getting wounds, emotional wounds that were shutting down parts of your body. And yet it's still there. And it's still playing itself out and has a lot of power over who you are and how you show up. And it takes some courage. It takes courage to see through that. It takes courage to see it. But I'm going to always tell you, it's going to take mental clarity for you to see anything. And if you're not ready for that, then I only can wish you the best. I hope that you'll get to a place in your life where you're ready to do the work. And if not, that's fine. Do it next life or the 5 after. But the work is going to be ready for you. I know that the work was always ready for me. Right? I kept jumping off the ledge, right? And I hit another ledge. I hit another ledge. I hit another ledge. It just kept letting me jump, letting me try to avoid, until I finally just got so broken that I said, all right, man, I can't do this anymore. It's time to heal. It's time to change. I'm ready. I don't want to feel this way no more. And that was the most beautiful decision I've made throughout my life. And it just keeps getting better. And so I hope I can encourage you to just consider. And if you're looking at doing some self-discovery work, which is really what happens right after the self-sabotage, download the Results Kill Excuses app and immerse yourself in that self-discovery work. There's like probably 2 months worth of course content, high quality, real deep, reflective, full length mirror, reflective, self-improvement work. And I wish you the best if that's something you're thinking of. If you're looking for something that's a little more, right, not so deep to begin with, maybe just get yourself a 1% Better Everyday Journal. Or the best of all would be to reach out to discuss signing up for some one-on-one coaching that will change your absolute life. All the options will change your life. But clearly the one that has me and you meeting every single week, that one right there is the absolute best way for you to start changing some things in your life. Having the greatest accountability partner in your corner to serve you, to be there with you, and to help show you the way in a more personalized, private setting. Any of those options sound good to you? You know what to do. Beyond that, thank you for listening to the message. I'm excited to where Results Kill Excuses is going. I'm excited because I know where I'm going. I know the visions that I'm seeing, and I know I have a lot to share. Stay tuned. Keep sharing the message. Like, comment down below. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what your creative gift is that you're going to start working on. As I'm writing poetry and making jewelry, and I've promised myself I'm going to write my book. this year. I've started it, haven't finished it, but I'm making that declaration. I've been making the declaration to myself. My time is now. Yours is too. I love you guys so much. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.